So in this video we're going to have a look at how we find the median for grouped data sets. So remember, the median is basically the middle score, but to be able to do it for grouped data sets we need to be able to do or find the cumulative frequency, and that's certainly going to make it a lot easier. And then we're going to construct a cumulative frequency polygon. We'll do the histogram as well, so cumulative frequency histogram and polygon, but the polygon's the important part, and it's also known as an ogive. So you may see that reference at times in textbooks that we're going to construct or use an ogive, and that's going to help us find the median. So in a previous video I've shown you how to construct a cumulative frequency histogram and polygon for group data. So remember, there's our classes, our class center we need to know. Remember, that's the middle of that class, and to find the middle of that class you add those two scores, 10 and 14, which is 24, and then halve it. So this is a set that I've used before, so you'll recognize this data if you've watched some previous videos. But before I can start to find the median, I need to complete my cumulative frequency. And just as a double check with my cumulative frequency, if I add the total of the frequency column, I should find that these two are the same. So far I've got a total of 5, then 5 plus 8 is 13, 13 plus 6 is 19, 19 plus 11 is 30, 30 plus 4 is 34, and 34 plus 8 is 42. So remember, that's your progressive total of these frequencies. Now that we've done that, we now need to construct a cumulative frequency polygon. So I like to do the histograms and polygons together, because with the polygon we join the top right hand columns of the top right hand corners of the columns, and that will certainly make things easier if we draw. So as I've shown you in a previous video, there's our class centers along the bottom. We've got to go up to 42, so I've chosen an appropriate scale. My class center of 12 had a frequency of 5, so this column goes up 5. This 17 class or class center goes up to 13. The 22 goes up to 19. 27 goes up to 30. The 32 goes up to 34, and the 37 goes up to 42. And then our ogive, or cumulative frequency polygon, joins the top right hand corners of each column. So there is my polygon, or ogive, there in orange. So how do we find the median from that? Well, we notice that from our highest value, our highest column from the cumulative frequency was 42, and it was the last value in our table here, and it's the highest column that we've got there. What we now do is we halve that value. So half of that 42 is 21. And if you can't do it in your head, please use your calculator. You're not going to lose marks for doing simple calculations with your calculator. Now we find this value of 21 along our vertical axis here, and it's just above the 20. And then I'm going to read across here until I hit my ogive. Okay. Now, if this was not grouped data, I'd just work out what column I was in. But because it's grouped data, I have to be very accurate. So you need to make sure you construct this very carefully using your grid paper or the grid that's supplied in the test. And now that I've reached across to my ogive, I now read down. So I'm going to read down here and find out, using my scale here, what would that value be. So I'm reading it's more than halfway between those two, so it's more than 24.5. So I'm saying along my scale is about 25 there. So my median for this group data set is 25. Okay, so that's how we determine the median from a group data set. It's very much the same as finding the median if they were not grouped data. we'd have our scores along here and we just read off what column it's in. But when it's group data, we have to read off accurately, as accurate as we can, what that value is. And there will be a small leeway of accuracy that we would allow there. So if you had 24.5 or 25.5 as your median, as opposed to my 25, then that's acceptable as well. As long as you've constructed everything nicely, make sure you use your ruler, because it is important for accuracy. So I hope you found that useful, and what you now need to do is make sure you practice that, because it's a very important skill.